Cleveland Metroparks Zoo is known as one of the leading zoos in the country as far as implementing multimedia technology for their visitors. And it created the perfect opportunity to partner students with their employees, working side by side on actual projects.
We got together, talked about what possibilities there were for a marriage between Auburn students and Cleveland Metroparks Zoo. You see that really the Conservation Education Division at the zoo is dedicated to getting out the message to our visitors. And what greater opportunity for our Auburn kids than to be able to develop those messages and design those messages and put together the DVDs and the movies that we then play in our theaters throughout the zoo.
My role as overseeing the public education programs, I very often have the opportunity to create projects, programs, media for our exhibits. The project that I got to work on was a new video that focuses on the amphibian crisis that the zoo community is dealing with right now, and create a video for one of our major theaters throughout the zoo.
They had a pretty broad range of hurdles to overcome. In one of the projects, they had to develop a video that would not only appeal to small children, but to senior citizens and the whole age range in between at the same time.
They were very passionate about the topic that we were working with, the frog and the amphibian crisis, and they had all these creative ways of approaching this video. And one of them that we absolutely loved, which was of no suggestion of ours, they just came up with it on their own, was to create these crayon drawings to get across our messages to very young visitors, which we had told them from the beginning. We want to reach young kids. We want to tell young kids about the amphibian crisis, what's happening to the frog population. So they came up on their own with, let's make crayon drawings. Kids can identify with crayon drawings. And it was a great fit for our video.
The project that my team from Auburn and I worked on together was a vodcast that had to do with elephants at the zoo and the history of elephants and where the future for elephants will go, because the zoo is getting ready to do a really great new elephant facility. We didn't know what the finished product would be. We had some ideas, so I was able to work with the students at the beginning, just giving them some of the history and the background of how we do these types of products here at the zoo. And the students were able to come up with some creative ideas on how to visually get that message across, especially to an audience, an audience of people who use a vodcast, that's students of their age, that's people their age. So they were able to come up with some good ideas that we can incorporate that we would have never thought of.
The process that we used with the Auburn Tech students, it was exactly the same process that I would use with any vendor, any company that would come in to create videos for us or do any kind of exhibit work or anything. It was the same exact process.
There were a lot of on-site visits with the students because we had to get a lot of footage shot. Meetings here probably every other week. The students would all come out and do shots. We would get interviews scheduled with keepers and the zoo director.
Students work via email and other electronic means just as anybody would in a business environment, exchanging ideas, receiving approval for artwork and design.
We had subsequent meetings with the students to go through, okay, we need a script. We need to get that script reviewed and edited. Everything was done exactly the same way as we would with any vendor that creates any media or any program for us.
But the results came out to be very similar to something that we would have paid for elsewhere.
The educators in zoos know what we want to teach, but most of us have really not had much experience in technology.
While I may be a user of some technology, I certainly didn't grow up with it, and the students have. And they not only know how to use it, they know how to do it.
And the neat thing about it is they come up with ideas that we could never even think of.
They not only were working on the video and had ideas for me about content and putting this video together, but when we were at the theater, they said, hey, you could use this screen, you could use this monitor, you could do all these different things. They were at that level thinking more holistically, looking at a bigger picture to create something even bigger and better for us. And I think that's a huge opportunity that we can tap into as we take these connections with these types of groups further.
At Auburn Career Center, we strive to give students authentic experiences, and partnering with community organizations, local businesses, give us the opportunity to get students into an actual work environment, to get to work hand in hand with actual employees. They learn not only the technical skills required, but they learn the soft skills or 21st century skills that employers are looking for.
We really intend to continue partnerships like this. It really strengthens our ability to work with the community, and from the zoo's end, we're winning because we're getting out our conservation message, and certainly from the partners' end, they're winning because they're giving great opportunities to their students.
A couple years from now, what they could help us do could be really fantastic.